Yes. Hi, neighbors. Oh, I didn't even check. I think it was, when I looked at the weather app, it said it was about 87 degrees. I don't know if how long ago that was, I guess. But between the hour of like 5 and 6, I should look. It's probably about 6 o'clock, 5:30, 6 o'clock, somewhere in there. It was supposed to fall from like 87 to 83. And by the feel of it, it's not very humid outside. So I would say somewhere around 50% or less. We had some exciting, today's been an awesome day. I'm stiff. My butt hurts so bad. So, I was gonna just sew in the camper today. I wanted to get some of our own personal projects done. And I've got one that it's okay, but it's not perfect yet. Because it's the first one I've done. And it's a pot holder of sorts. So I need to, obviously, like sit down, look at it, really look and figure out what I need to do to make it better. The sewing machine that I have in the camper, it's not a walking foot, and that's kind of what I'm used to at work. That's not what I have in my shed either. And it just makes things move a little bit. And I'm also working on fabric that is some like polyfoam that's squishy. And it is just a whole different mindset. You know, sewing silk is way different than sewing cotton, which is way different than sewing polyester or cordura or anything like that. It's just, you got to get used to it. The second part that really sucks is that the bench that I sit on that side is broken. And so in order to, not have my butt fall through currently, I try and sit on kind of one of the edges, like one of the main supports. It's like framed with like 2x2 supports. Anyway, and so like one butt cheek goes on that. And so sometimes my whole leg goes numb for a while. And then the other part that really sucks is that it's up too high. So then it's this height, and then you have the sewing machine on top of it. So I'm sewing like this. It's just ridiculous. So I will do quite a bit, and then I'll stop and sit and stand up and move around and wiggle a bit. And anyway, it's very uncomfortable. But with it being over at the camper, at least I'll have I can get up in the morning and be able to do something like that. I'm also going to put forth tomorrow more effort into social media. Here's the problem. One of many, obviously, you guys have realized. I've got a few problems in my life. I don't have internet right now because I'm going to guess. So I never got an answer from this company. They're driving me nuts. Never got an answer from them as to why magically we've never run out this early. And suddenly we're 10 days short of the end of the month, or we were, and we ran out of internet. And so it's one of those, like, you have to email them, and you have to wait until they email you back, and it takes too long. Anyway, so Starlink is running a deal right now where it's only $299 until I think October 5th if you buy Starlink. And that's only an extra $20 a month of what I already pay. Over at our new property, it's tricky because we can get, what's the name of the company? Spectrum. We can get Spectrum on one side, like on the north-south road, but it's not on the east-west road. So can they run it, 100 feet west to be able to get to our place? Maybe they would do that. Until then, and I'm not having them go through my property, we might be able to put a pole maybe on that edge and kind of run it through the back of the property, if that makes sense. Anyway, right now though, we'll have Starlink. The point of the story is, at least that's unlimited. So I don't know if I just uploaded too many videos to YouTube and that was why we ran out of internet. I don't know. You can't go online and look. You can go online and it will tell you how many you have left, like how much. We have the 300 gigabyte plan. It will tell you how many gigabytes you have left, but it will not tell you what days you used it or when. It's dumb. Our phones and the computer hooks up to it okay. The phones sometimes have a little bit of a problem because it is now considered a hotspot on like the phone connection instead of an actual internet connection like it always used to be. Anyway, that'll get taken care of. But the email confirmation says it's going to take like 2 to 3 weeks before that gets shipped to me. So maybe, I don't know. It could always be early, I guess. But we just won't have internet for a couple weeks. And guess what? That's how we roll. Sometimes it happens. If there's something major that we need to do, if I need to pay a bill, speaking of which, today's also my husband's birthday. And I have to pay the electric payment. So what I will do is I will make my phone a hotspot. I will hook up to it. I will do the electric payment. And then I'll be done. So we just won't have internet for a couple weeks. And we have to deal with that. It's the way we roll. People ask me. I was in, gosh, where were we? Like Walmart or something one time. And somebody was trying to sell like AT&T internet service or something. And I said, I think it was just cable. I don't remember what it was. It was some service. And I said, no, we don't have a TV. And they're like, what do you mean you don't have a TV? I'm like, well, you don't have a TV. And they're like, what are you, Amish? It's like, yeah, I'm really dressed very, very, very Amish. No, but sure. So finally I was just like, yes. And we walked away. Oh, well. People for you. So anyway, I started this morning sewing in the house or in the camper, and then I ended up going over to the shed because I had forgotten my pair of scissors. I went over to the workshop, and the workshop inhabitants were gone, and so I'm like, well, while they're gone, I should work. So I ended up finishing a project over there for work for my paycheck job. And I like it. So I didn't get to, that actually looks like the inhabitants of my shed. Walking across. Yeah, that he is. Anyway, my child's home. It ended up that I got that project all done. I was excited. So I did not get to work on Friday, or I chose not to, because we had a ton of fruit that needed to get processed before it would go rotten. And I don't do well with spending hundreds of dollars on fruit and then letting it go to waste. I wanted to can the apples. We still haven't finished that because I don't have a food mill. So I got to figure out if I can find my KitchenAid mixer with like the sieve attachment, or if I need to find a friend who has a food mill. That could be a possibility. Option number 3 is I can go buy another one. I don't like that option. Do I want another one? Yes, but again, I would use it and then I would pack it for a while. Anyway, I'm assuming we'll find the other one when we move, but I don't know when that's going to be. Story of my life. Then I've got people waiting for me. It's a little creepy, I'm not gonna lie. I worked over there, processed fruit Friday. So between working about half a day yesterday and a half a day today, I made up the time for Friday. I'm going to start try really hard to get a few more hours in so that we can have that extra stack of the cash on hand, extra pay down the bills. And I'm hoping by the grace of somebody not named Brandon that we could, maybe the interest rates will go down since it's an election year and I can refinance really quick and I don't have to be paying so much stupid interest. Our payments, we have been paying on them for an entire year. I think we purchased it in September of last year. It's about a year. And I just got like a statement in the mail, and it said that we have taken $3,000 off our total. So I pay almost that every single month. and I've only paid $3,000 off of the principal. That makes me want to bawl. And then I had the conversation with my oldest. I know, right? Got creepy people behind me. I got creepy people in front of me. You can try.
Hi.
Ha, you lose. I just had the conversation with my oldest. He really wants a new motorcycle. And so we do what's called the head work. I said, do the head work with me. I think that was off our movie the other night too, wasn't it? Is that another G.I. Jane quote? And so I said, look it up. And he made some comment about 17% interest. And I was like, holy crap, why? And he said, well, that's what so-and-so, that's what they said they got on theirs. I'm thinking, dear Lord. So I said, well, okay, go through and find an auto calculator. And I said, look it all up, see what it is. So the first payment, or the first one that he looked up, was 17% interest. And the payment was, I think, like $600 a month or something like that for 60 months maybe. And then I said, okay, now leave the numbers the same except for the interest rate. And I said, take that down to 7. And so he did. And it was $500. And he's like, well, that's only $500. Like, that's only $100 a month difference. That's not a big deal. I said, yeah, times 60, because it's a 60-month loan. I said, you're going to pay them an extra $6,000 just because you like them. He kind of looked at me funny, and I said, really? Oh, dear Lord. It just follows me. What? It landed on me. It's creepy. I'm telling you, it's one of those days. And so $6,000 that you're going to give them just for the kindness of them, loaning you money. It's a big difference. So it's a really big difference. It by the time, how much money? I think he was looking at $16,000 maybe or something like that. I said, by the time that's over, that's what, a third, a fourth of how much you're gonna, yeah, it's nuts. Anyway, I thought I heard people. So that's kind of where we're at. I've often talked to my kids about how much they wanted to know, I want one of these. And I said, okay, well, how much does it cost? If you get paid $10 an hour, because that's easy. Or when they're little, $5 an hour. Easy math. How many hours is it going to take you to earn that? If you want a $40 Xbox game, it's going to take you 4 hours of work at $10 an hour to buy that. And then kids kind of really get a sense of, like, holy cow, that's a long time. Or if they're little, then be like, well, okay, it's 8 o'clock in the morning right now when we get up, and we're going to put on a timer, and at noon when we eat lunch, that's how long you have to work solid, no breaks, the whole time, in order to earn enough money to pay for that. Put things into perspective. So then the other thing that is the happy news of the day, we met a friend through mutual friends, and they have some neighbor dogs that are eating. I don't care. Go put it back in the bathroom where it was. Wasn't that Dad's?
Yeah.
It's been in the bathroom all day. I don't really care. The point is, you're doing it to be a turd. It's not yours. Don't touch it. Boy, children. He's got some wild dogs that just run around there, and they're killing his pigs. So he was interested in a dog. I happen to have extra right now, so the boys drove up, and we have 2 that we were considering, that we don't need. And so he picked one of them out, and hopefully she'll be a pretty good addition to his farm. She's still pretty young. She can't be left alone with his pigs and stuff yet. But hopefully it won't be too much longer, and she'll get to realize that those are her people, and she needs to guard her people. Such dark children. such dork children. I think they're related to their dad. You're related to your father. Yes, okay, well, we understand. Speaking of father, he is cooking burgers for his birthday meal. I told him I was going to make him a cake so that I could eat it in a couple days, because today's day 73. I'm not making a cake. It's too hot. And it's going to be hot all week. Thankfully, I only have to do 2 more outdoor workouts. And then I will still stick with 1 workout a day instead of 2. And then I can do them inside too if I really need to. Yeah, he tried to give us a pig as trade, and I'm all about that. But we are still moving, so we declined kindly. And so we have 1 less dog. But I'm pretty sure in the next 2 days we're going to be adding a puppy to the mix, because we have some friends that want to rehome a puppy. And so we seem like we're those people. And we'll take him and we'll train him up, and we'll see if we can't get him a good home. He's young. He's only 12 weeks old. And unfortunately has already been neutered, which we're pretty against doing it that early. You guys did tell him that the girls, okay. But yeah, we'll have another little specimen here that we can start our training on. And I think these 2 boys, since we're down a dog and all of the chickens and ducks will be gone today and tomorrow, then they'll have more time for training throughout the day, and getting the rest of this house cleaned up so that we can get it listed and sold. Because, you know, I said in January we were going to get it sold. It's been a long time. And then we're still praying that the well guy will call us. And tonight we're going to talk about where the electricity is going to go. So it's all falling into place. I shouldn't have said that out loud.